Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Monday Night Raiders of the Lost Flicks Live, our Dune feed. I'm here with my co-host Flair X and my special guest Dick Shaddam IV.
Yes, don't be confused.
If you guys don't know Dick is a guy that I've done some shows with on Wednesday nights. We watch Tales from the Crypt episodes, and they're terrible.
Yeah, don't hold us against us.
Hopefully the one that we watch this Wednesday will be the one that doesn't suck for change. But as you can see, he's a big fan of Dune, and he was really excited to do this stream with us here. But Dick, since it's the first time you're on our show, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? I know you're an author, and I don't know a whole lot of everything else. I just know little things that you told me.
Oh, I got 2 books out on Amazon, Monster Monroe and Another Night. One's a period historical piece, one's a serial killer love story kind of story. So I don't know, they're 2 different books, and I'm working on the 3rd one right now, so we'll see what happens the next year.
And I know you got some film background as well.
Yeah, I got a few things. I mean, I've worked here and there and did extra work and done all kinds of bullshit behind the scenes stuff, and now I'm just poor and living in NorCal.
Trying not to catch on fire.
Yes.
Flair is also formerly from California.
So. Oh yes,
I'm an expat Californian. Grew up in Placerville.
Oh yeah.
Went to the Air Force and came back. Lived over in Roseville and Rockland, outside of Sacramento.
Wow.
So, yeah, NorCal.
It's all gone now. It's all burnt. It's all gone. It's all on fire. It's done.
Oh,
it's dead. So it's all right. You don't have to come back.
I told you about the 2 uncles that I have. We keep checking up on them, make sure they're still there every other day. So
I'm trying to escape.
All my friends.
Yeah. If you're out there in California, be safe, people. Be safe. I mean, seriously.
Absolutely.
We talk smack about Hollywood and California, but truth be told, I do have friends out there. You know, I have relatives out there. I don't wish any ill will. You know what I mean? Seriously,
it's a big state. We got lots of room.
Yeah, that's what they said about Florida. But I'm in the path of a couple of hurricanes right now. So I'm about to jump in an RV and head to Illinois. So anyway, enough of all of that. Dick, you saw the trailer, right? I
did.
I didn't get your feedback because Flair and I talked extensively about the trailer last week. We did kind of an impromptu live stream. I would like your opinions on the trailer. Like, what did you think of it?
It's just, these modern day trailers are all very, very similar now. They all have
right. They have a pattern.
Music. They're all cut the same way. It's always, what's the destiny? What's your secret? What's your
fade to black?
Yeah.
Music fade to black. Establishing shot fade to black.
And the thing that I've noticed now is it's always there's a song. Now we have to have the old cover of a song from 50 years ago. That's like, I don't associate that song with the movie, but it works because it's like done so well. It's like, it's fitting. It's very marketing ploy device. It's just like, I don't know. And it worked. It was fine. It didn't bother me.
I guess if it had been anybody else, I probably would have complained about it. But yeah, I'm thinking, they did Pink Floyd. That's a nod to John Ross.
Well, yeah, and I forgave it for that reason. But I almost was in the sinking sensation that toward the end of this trailer it was going to say, "But the sun is eclipsed by the Dune." I'm like, oh God, no! Don't do that. I felt like they were going to do that.
Thank God they didn't do that.
Yeah, that would have been terrible.
Oh my God, I can only imagine. But I think what we want to talk about, since we did a really in-depth breakdown of every little scene of the movie, is we want to get into our expectations. That trailer, when it dropped, it broke the internet. I mean, it was trending for like a couple of days, and to the point to where the traffic towards my channel kind of tapered off a bit, because now all of a sudden everybody's talking about Dune. Fucking Jeremy Johns is talking about it, and Collider is talking about it, and Double Toasted's talking about it. I'm like, well, they're watching all those channels. They're not going to come back and see what I'm talking about anymore, because I'm talking about it, nobody else was. So
the Quartering was talking about it.
The Quartering's going to talk about it. Yeah, they're not.
John talks. Yeah, I mean, but everybody seems to be jumping on the bandwagon.
I've noticed that some of the some of the enthusiasm is genuine. Some of it comes off like just, well, this is the trending topic, so I have to take a stance.
Well, to be honest, does anybody care what Collider has to say about anything anymore?
Well, and then there the ones that always make me laugh, and it draws me in, and I shouldn't, is the people that flat out say that they hate Dune, but yet they're going to give a trailer breakdown of the Dune, and I'm like, okay, you stated up front that you hate the show, you hate the books, you hate the miniseries. Why then? Why?
Well, that's just it. As I've established many times, I like about 3/4 of that. Like I like the book and I like the miniseries. Like there's a lot of serious movie potential there. I have problems with the '84 movie, but there are aspects of it that I like because that was my introduction to it. So I'm like, what is this weird universe that I don't understand? And then as I grow older, I began to understand it more.
And that's the same for me. Is I have my problems with Robert Lynch's '84 epic.
Please, Alan Smithy's Dune.
Alan Smithy.
Yeah.
You're aware of that term, right? Like Flair, the Alan Smithy thing.
Yeah, it's when a director does not want to be associated with the work.
He's the guy that directed Hellraiser 4. That guy makes trash. Alan Smithy. Don't like that guy.
Because if we do attribute the parts that Mr. Lynch takes credit for, if we had kept that vision, that movie would have been, Well,
also we live in the age now of release this cut, release that cut. Ever since the Snyder cut became a thing, now it's like now all of a sudden we have multiple cuts of movies, and
that's Dick Donner's fault.
We can release them 2 and 3 times now. It's just like,
look, we can sucker these people into buying multiple versions.
We can get them to watch the Justice League again. Yay! Well, I don't want to say trash about that though. That's my boy Fatal J. That he pretty much made that happen. That movie exists because of his channel. So if you have that kind of power, man,
the director's cuts of movies. I love Kingdom of Heaven. Then they put out a director's cut where they added in almost an hour more. It was a 2.5 hour movie as it was. Now it's a 4-hour movie, and I went out and bought it.
Well, the DVD that you have is the director's cut of Frank Herbert's Dune. You have the director's cut of the miniseries, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is the director's.
I used to have it. I lost it. Damn it. But I had it at one point. Yeah, I remember watching it.
It is also the unrated version.
Yeah. Now the Blu-ray version that I have has that version on it, so it's not like I don't have it anymore. It's just it's not called the director's cut anymore. It's just like it's in German or Dutch, and I can't pronounce it, so it's whatever that copy is, because that's the only Blu-ray there is. But Dick, would you please explain those wonderful toys that are in front of you there? I'm going to give you a single here.
Oh, please! Now here's Baron Harkonnen and his sons, I assume. This is Sting.
Yeah.
That's Sting.
Yeah, that's definitely Sting, and that's
this is a great character actor.
Were those the original toys that came out in the 80s?
These are the 1984 figures. Yes.
Wow.
They're not that hard to find. I keep finding them on eBay for really cheap, so I just pick them up when I can because it's just such an interesting toy line. It's like no one gives a fuck about the Dune toy line. Like no one cares.
But they will soon.
Maybe. I don't know. Shoot. Who doesn't want this action coming at you? I want to kill him.
I want to put him in front of a microphone and just have him sing Brand New Day for like 2 hours. Yeah.
Oh.
Starting up a brand new day. No, that was terrible.
Desert Rosalie. Now that's a Sting song. God damn it.
While we're talking about toys, though, this wasn't really planned for the stream, but I do want to share it anyway. They released that McFarlane doing some toys for the new movie.
I saw a photo of it.
I'm sure you're going to be all over those.
Sadly, I probably will.
Yeah. You're in the collecting and resale business.
I'm a sucker for that. Yeah.
Can be lucrative.
Yeah.
I got to admit, these look really good.
They do look good.
You especially get some better view of the still suits here that we don't really get from the pictures because everything's always so nerfed with all the filters and everything. You can't really see what the hell's going on. But these look kind of like a cross between the 1984 still suits and like it looks like tech armor, like body armor, like Marines would wear. You know what I mean? Or it's like special forces. Don't you kind of get that vibe a little bit? Especially like where the elbow pads and the gloves. It looks like it could be a descendant of actual body armor.
It's very much the Nolan approach to the bat suit.
Yeah. Well, and I'm okay with that.
But that's the thing. That's the style now. That's what Hollywood does now. That's the go-to kind of like, we'll make it work in reality fantasy outfit.
Now, what I can't wait to hear, though, is these actors, like on the Blu-ray when it comes out, they're going to tell you exactly how hot it was versus wearing these outfits and whether or not they died wearing them or not. You know, because those old costumes, they probably died wearing those things.
But is it going to be authentic to the novel where they can piss and sweat and drink it?
You should definitely drink your own piss. You know,
it's good for you,
especially if you live in this universe.
Exactly.
You should be. I don't know. These figures look really cool, though. I haven't bought a McFarlane toy in quite a while.
They're not bad. I'll probably end up picking them up.
You can't open them. Like these toys are not meant to be displayed or played with. They're just meant to be looked at. That's why I like the NECA stuff better. I kind of wish they would do it, but you know, McFarlane's at least going to get the faces right. You know, I mean. Yeah. They'll be posable, but if you drop one of these, they'll shatter into 1,000 pieces. That's a McFarlane toy.
That's what I hear. I don't have too many McFarlane toys.
No, I have a couple, and they're very pretty, and they don't get touched much because they'll fall apart. Yeah.
As a reseller, every time somebody like hands me a box of Spawn toys, I'm just like, I don't want them. Yeah. I can sell the box for $10, if that. Like it ain't worth the piss to pot in or whatever.
No, I think I have one Spawn. I got a couple of movie Spawn action figures, and I think I got
You got a nice Martin Sheen action figure?
I don't have that one. I got the taller, so I got the clown, and I've got the where he's morphed. You can change the head out, like you can see Michael Jai White's burnt face, and then you can put like the mask on there. And then I got another one that's like the comic book one. He's about that tall. He's got wings that pop out and his eyes light up. He's got little chains hanging from him. It's kind of cool. But I didn't buy a lot of Spawn toys for the very same reason that you just said. But so that's one thing, and then we'll take it to the extreme second. Now, I know when I say this, I'm going to probably make a lot of people angry, and I don't care. But let me just share it first, and then we'll
fight the power.
Yeah, fight the power that be. Absolutely. So this had to happen. I mean, it was just a matter of time.
No. Yes.
Funko Pops.
I hate these things. I absolutely fucking hate these things. I don't like Funko Pops, man. I hate them.
Say what you will. They're the best thing to resell.
They are, aren't they?
They flip really easily, but I don't do them anymore. I stopped because it just got too out of hand. I couldn't keep up.
Man. It's like my problem with these things is they're like tribbles, okay? They multiply and multiply and multiply. Like every store that you go to, you have to dedicate like the first 20 feet of every single store to Funko Pops. Just
Adam.
Yeah.
The Funko Pops are this generation's Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies, yep. I always say that these are Beanie Babies for millennials, and that pisses people off so much when I say that. And hey, if you like a thing, go ahead. But I'm going to quote Retro Blasting. That's a channel you guys check out on YouTube. Retro Blasting does toys. Fantastic channel. He said it best. These things are designed specifically to be collected, and they hold no other value. Like they are designed for like they're designed like limited runs of them are manufactured. They are this generation's Beanie Babies.
Let's call them what they are: butt plugs.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't even do the blue eyes, man. Why didn't they at least make one of these like with blue on blue eyes? Nope, that's not the Pop way.
They did make a Dune 84 series, and they do have blue eyes. Right.
Yeah, the Muad, actually the 1984 one, if you're gonna have one of these, is probably better than these, but
because he is a Cadillac.
So the argument is this the Baron or is this Raban?
I think it's got to be the Raban because they haven't released any pictures of the Baron because he's all CGI'd out.
Yeah,
So that's what I heard, at least.
All the pictures from the videos that we've seen of the Baron are just from the neck up.
Yeah.
There's only a few clips in the trailer of Baron Harkonnen, so it's kind of. I would think it's more Raban, because in the trailer, Raban is wearing that black suit and is very pale. So that would be my educated wag.
I would almost say that pop looks like Uncle Fester. It's like they just dusted off the old Uncle Fester pop and they made it a Dave Bautista.
Macaroni and D's Nuts. Yes, Dave Bautista is the character that we're discussing right this second.
Okay, you know what? This answers our question right here, because I wanted to read, who these were. This is Lady Jessica right here.
Okay,
yes.
so
that is Bene Gesserit.
And that explains that gold scene where the three are standing behind Leto. So yeah, okay.
Because we were trying to figure out if this was Bene Gesserit or if this was supposed to be the entourage of the Emperor's daughter.
Is she going to even be in this movie, the Emperor, at all? Is that going to be even seen?
We don't know, because she's not
cast listed.
In the book.
No.
She's not in, other than being quoted at the chapter titles. She's not in the first part of the book. She was added as a character in the miniseries.
That's right.
To kind of tie the first act up to the betrayal with the second and third acts of the betrayal and then the rise of Paul Muad'Dib. So I don't know how Villeneuve is going to adjust that, for lack of a better term, adapt, because it really does seem to come down to how he wants to tie the story together. Is he going to go more the book level, or is he going to go kind of a combination of 84 and miniseries? I'm
going to say the 84 book is going to be nowhere near this at all. The 84 novel or 84 movie is not going to be approached.
It seems like in watching the trailer, it seems like it is more the novel than it is with a small leavening of miniseries.
Especially if you got Eric Roth being the co-writer and Joe Spaeths, who are two, like Joe Roth especially is a go-to book guy. He's adapted a lot of scripts from a lot of different books. He's a book guy. Yeah, so
I did not know that, but yeah, that explains a lot why the human test in the trailer is almost word for word out of the book.
Right. Yeah.
And that got me very excited for it, because it was just like, finally, I see visuals to go with the book that I've loved. So.
I want to acknowledge my chat real quick before I forget. Superfan Adam Shawhan and Macaroni and D's Nuts. That is fun to say. I'm not ever going to get tired of saying that at all. Macaroni and D's Nuts said something pretty funny here, though, that I want to mention. Pogs are better than Pops. You guys remember Pogs?
I try not to. I'm sure they had Dune Pogs.
I don't disagree at all. I hate Pops so much. I think a lot of it was I was spoiled because most of the toys that I remember was from the 80s. And that was just like the golden age of toys. There was so much junk that just anything could be made into plastic in the 80s. I mean, you had like a combination of horror. We also went through that weird period of time where every movie made had a kid show version of it so that they could make toys. RoboCop, Toxic Avenger had toys in a Saturday morning cartoon.
And those are not cheap.
So did Rambo, and then
you had the dueling mechanoids, because you had Voltron, you had Transformers,
Micronauts,
Robotech,
Monster
Mask, Silverhawks. We had so much. Masters of the Universe. All that stuff was. We had GoBots, but no, GoBots were like the shortest lived toy line in the universe. Like as soon as Transformers came out, nobody ever bought another GoBot ever again. Like they're like immediately went to clearance because everybody just like agreed These Transformers are way cooler. Scobots are dumb.
Well, speaking of clearance, I remember as a kid going to Big Lots, or back when it was called something else, I can't remember. And it's like one of those realty or secondhand stores that sells shit that doesn't sell in the stores initially. So I remember when Dune came out, this was like 2 years after Dune was like 4 or 5, and I was able to understand, oh, look at all this Dune shit on the for sale. They got Dune shit everywhere. Crap. Lots of books and coloring books and no action figures, but just a lot of like kid books and not like little things, just activity books. And you're just like, oh my God, this movie bombed so bad.
That reminds me, Dick, I wanted to show something here. I posted this earlier today and I got some pretty interesting answers. I'm actually going to read them online. I have a Facebook group. Dick's in there, Flair's in there. Raiders Lost Flicks fan group on Facebook. I'm going to share something from that very same toy line that you have in front of you there. But I posted this. I said, caption this. Because okay, so Shai Hulud, rib for her pleasure. Spice up your sex life. Harkonnen Industries, Agidi Prime. The sleeper has awakened and the spice must flow using Sand Power Atreides, Inc. Shut up, Meg. You can both enjoy the pain box, rib for her pleasure, and penis gripping, raking spikes, also for her pleasure. Cardi B is on the prowl again.
Wow.
This is a metaphor for life suckers. So this came out of my butt, ... The creature that spawned Pelosi.
Wow.
The only dildo bigger than Alien. Bonus points for catching the movie reference. If that comes out of the cat's litter box, it just might be time to either change it or it's time to start worshiping the cat's litter box. Again, years later, shh, don't tell the cat.
Wow.
The sex toy has awakened. Shout my name when she wants to give you her tremors. Oh God, I love it. That's gonna go on for days.
That's pretty good.
But I remember the first time I saw this was you guys remember when Siskel and Ebert at the movies was on?
Yeah.
And Gene Siskel had bought this for Roger Ebert for his birthday. Because I guess he just hated the Dune movie, and those guys like famously were like frenemies. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah. So yeah,
well,
join my Facebook group and caption these things. You're missing out on those kind of fun.
Did you ever see that Roger Ebert documentary?
Not yet. I need to.
It does not portray him as a great man.
No. I know some of the bad things about him.
He's kind of an asshole.
Most movie critics like that at the time were you had two clashing giant egos smashing against each other. And it was Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert. And after a while, when you watch them, you realize that each one of them were kind of partial to certain things. So it's almost like their reviews would be predictable just based on likes, which is kind of way critics are now. It's like, oh, if Scott Mendelson reviews something, he's like, it has to be progressive and political and
Adam.
Yeah.
My family used to, when we had a TV, we used to watch them just for the arguments. We didn't even care what movie they were reviewing because we didn't believe a word they said.
They would be like this far away from each other, just screaming in each other's faces.
Yep.
Like, how can you possibly like this? Yeah.
You just literally watch them for that piece alone. Is they would start screaming at each other, and the entire show would devolve because literally they would fight so hard that they would want to get away from each other, so they're slid all the way over, but they're still screaming at each other. Well,
and Gene Siskel was like a raging alcoholic too. But I mean, that's the old cliche. If you're a writer, you drink a lot. It's
that's a half truth.
It's a thing. It is sometimes. It just is. It's like you just do. I don't know, but he was one of them. Yeah.
Whiskey is your friend when you're a writer.
I mean, some of the movies that Roger Ebert hates, I love. So I've seen his list. I'm like, really? You didn't like that? Well, whatever.
He's very particular.
I respect anybody that has their own opinions. At least they have their own opinions.
And he had his own defense for his opinions. And you know what? You got to give the man credit. He had He was a man of strong opinion, and he could back it up. Why he didn't like certain things. Hey, more power to him.
Yeah.
I don't have to agree, but I'll respect the man for what he said and what he did.
So that's the toy end of it. So now we're going to get into, as we mentioned earlier, we don't know. We're pretty sure that there's going to be Fade Harkonnen, but probably not in this movie. There'll probably either be a surprise ending of this movie or it will be in the second movie. And one of the biggest rumors that I've seen,
he'll probably be in it just because he had their when they return the Beast to Arrakis, that's part of the Baron's planning. Is he wants to? So he has both of his nephews, and he's talking to both of them. Pushes the Beast out, and then has a more direct conversation with Fade about basically, okay, he's going to soften this world up for you. It's going to be your oyster. So at a certain point, the planning process starts very early because it was part of the Mentat, Peter DeVries's larger plan for getting rid of the Atreides, and then Atreides, and then moving forward. So he had to take into account Fade, and Fade had to be there for the planning. And he also is a very young man. So,
you know who Peter DeVries is for the new one? I actually did a video on this, but I can't remember his name right now, so I'm going to pull it up. But anyways, the rumor for this, Eric, is Ty Sherian. And according to, it's bleeding cool. So, take this with a massive grain of salt. I can't really use this as a reliable in-source, but I just pulled this one up because I had heard this name floating around before this article was published. This one's from June 5th, but it was saying Ty Sherian had appeared credited to play the part of Fade, and then it was quickly removed. So I think what we'll do here is, if it was not him, who would you pick? Because we were kind of talking about this off the air before we went on. It needs to be somebody that's about the same age as Timothy Chalamet. Because the way I look at it, Fade is basically the dark version of Paul. You know what I mean? Not Muad'Dib, but Paul. You know what I mean? It's like dark Paul. It's the Harkonnens version of what Paul could be. You know what I mean? So it needs to kind of match that.
Who is
Adam Driver?
Too old.
Oh, right.
Who's the guy from? He did the Hitchcock remake of Bates Motel. He was the son.
Oh God, I don't remember that guy's name.
Freddie Highmore. Like Freddie Highmore.
Yeah, Freddie Highmore. I think he would be really good in that role, and he's got the chops for it.
He's too TV though. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Even
though nowadays TV and movies are kind of synonymous, they still kind of aren't. You know what I mean? That for this movie, they live in the TV universe.
This got to be big. You got to think big movie star. Who's a big movie star? Not saying that the guy, what's his name, Timothy
Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet. Yeah.
Not that he's a huge star. No one knows who the hell he is. He's just a
kid. That's kind of where. Why I kind of went with who I went.
I think we kind of discovered that this is his first starring role. He's been mostly in supporting roles up until now.
Yeah, Jared Leto is Fade. Yeah, I don't think that'll work.
Oh God, that'd be terrible.
Here's the guy. Okay, so you guys, I know you'll recognize this guy. This is Peter DeVries right here. This guy. He's the guy from The Dark Knight that was giggling. That had what's her name's?
He's in the Suicide Squad too.
Yeah, he's also in that.
Love it.
Yep.
Where do I think the part one will end? I think right after the betrayal. I really think they're going to break it because that's kind of the midpoint of the book. That's the justification for it.
That's
we
what
talk
I
about
thought.
this question right here. Bill Leavitt, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
Billy from Boston here. Where do you think part 1 will end and where will part 2 begin?
I kind of think the betrayal. They'll get through the betrayal and then.
Right, it has to end on the absolute darkness. You know what I mean? Because it's like you got to make it in such a way to where people absolutely want to go back and see where it goes. You know, like I hate thinking that this is going to be a setup movie, but it kind of already is.
I think he said that though already. I think Villeneuve did say where it ends.
I don't recall.
I don't know if that. I don't think it's a big secret. I think it is where Duke is betrayed and they're escaping and they're in the desert. And I'm sure the last shot is going to be the sandworm with Paul and Jessica.
Them racing across the sand to the Fremen.
Yeah, I think that'll be the last. That'll be the end of it.
Chris Perez said, "Just check. Mark McKenna is the same age as Timothy. Timothy.
Who's Mark McKenna?
I don't know. I'm going to look him up.
Look him up. I'm sure is it a joke? Is that a joke in itself?
I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah. I mean, it can't always be Robert De Niro, right?
How about Joe Pesci?
No, you know who it's going to be. It's going to be Idris Elba because Idris Elba has to play everybody.
Yes, exactly.
That's the new rule.
And he has to be in every movie.
He has to be in every. No. Idris Elba has to be listed to play everybody, but who has to be in every movie is Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
There you go.
If you notice that, he's in like every other movie. It's either Samuel L. Jackson or The Rock. Has to be in every movie. It's like it's a Hollywood mandate. Let's see here.
Mark. I heard he's the sandworm. Idris Elba. It's in my pants, mate.
Mark McKenna. Okay, here's the guy.
What's he look like?
Oof. He looks like an emo kid. Hold on.
Oh, well, there you go.
All right.
Fit right in.
I'm going to get in so much trouble for saying that, but I don't care. All right. There he is.
Oh, my God. That's Tom.
He's wearing skinny jeans.
That's Timothy
2020. Every young guy wears skinny jeans. We're just old guys on a podcast. We don't wear skinny jeans.
We can't fit into skinny jeans.
Right. They don't make skinny jeans for fat people. What is this? This is nonsense.
Oh, that's the movie that he was in, probably. The punk rock movie. Oh. The music movie that came out about the Brits. Yeah. I don't know.
Chris, I know you're trolling me, aren't you, with this guy? Because I can't even with this guy.
I can see it. I get it. I can see where he's coming from. He looks like a young.
I mean,
Tom Hiddleston or whatever it is.
He does look like he could be a Timothy Chalamet. To me, it has to be. I always look at Fate as like the dark version of Paul Atreides. You know what I mean? Like the dark incarnate of Paul.
He's the other side of the coin.
Yes, that's the way I kind of look at it.
Does Denis Villeneuve like to work with the same people multiple times?
Not necessarily. No,
because I was going to say Paul Dano. He was in Prisoners.
If that was the case, we would see.
Jackman.
No, I don't see him. He doesn't really use the same actors. No,
he doesn't. I'm trying to think of other movies, and I don't think he does.
I kind of appreciate that about him because it's not. Like a lot of directors, they always have the same lead playing every single role. It's like.
Well, I also like the fact that he's got huge names. But he's also got some lesser names that he's promoting that if they do a good job should really be bootstrapped into other, that can make their name off of Dune and go ahead and be great actors. Because, I mean, honestly, I'd never heard of Timothy Chalamet. And now...
I hadn't heard of him. I'd heard of Zendaya, obviously, but that was like the only name in the whole cast, any person. And I was kind of happy by that because I'm like, yeah, you probably should get somebody that we haven't seen already. You know what I mean? Like if he's going to be the hero, if he's going to carry it, you don't really want to associate him with something else. You want to associate him as the Dune guy. You know what I mean?
So, that could be dangerous too, though.
Everybody else in the movie we've seen in other things. They're like familiar faces, which is smart from a movie standpoint because it's going to get butts in seats, hopefully.
And how about Oscar Isaac? What a career Oscar Isaac has.
He likes to get into all the sci-fi, but the best sci-fi thing that I ever saw him do was Ex Machina. I love that movie.
Yeah. Well, and Annihilation, it's the same filmmaker.
That's right. I haven't seen Annihilation yet. I haven't got around to watching that one.
Natalie Portman, I think, ruins it, but everything else is pretty damn good.
What happened to Natalie Portman? She was better as a child, wasn't she?
Well, no, that's the thing. She's a child actor that became a woman, and they only have two modes when you're a kid actor. You act like a retard or you cry a lot, and that's all they do, and that's all she knows how to do. Because she's the same thing in every fucking movie you see her in.
Yeah.
Same exact performance.
Yeah. It's literally, Lucas found her at a coffee shop, right?
No, she was famous by
she was
then.
on the professional long before the Menace came out. Yeah.
No, but that should tell you everything you need to know. She's terrible in those movies, and that's how she is. If she doesn't have somebody telling her what to do, she's worthless. I'm sorry. I had an altercation with her. She turned my advances down, so I'd never got along with Natalie Portman ever.
So what you're saying is she was hanging out in the coffee shop that you used to hang out.
That's what it was. Yes.
And if she couldn't be any snootier about going to Harvard.
Well, it's not my fault that she didn't like the script I wrote for her, and she's like covered in blood and fetal material. But that's another story. But
it's, for a while there, I thought maybe she actually was going to leave Hollywood and go do something else.
I wish she would.
That's what she said she was going to do.
Yeah,
she's in Paris now. She lives in France.
Oh, the snooty people live in France.
Have fun with that. Have fun with that shit show. The EU is dead, much like Arrakis. The Harkonnens have taken over the EU. It's over.
The Harkonnen have taken over the EU. That's about the truth of it. Oh, my goodness. What's this here? Villain Murphy is Fade. Okay.
Murphy? God, he's the guy from Peaky Blinders.
Oh, that could be good.
He actually, yeah, I could see that. Anything
related to Peaky Blinders is pretty good.
Villain Murphy or Cillian Murphy? Because I could see Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy. But is Villain Murphy his brother?
I was going to say, if it's Cillian Murphy, he would be perfect. Because, this guy would totally be Fade.
Yes, Cillian Murphy would be good.
American Horror Story? Yeah.
There. Yeah, this is Cillian. Now he actually has been in a couple of Nolan movies. He was the one that played the Scarecrow.
Yeah, he's in a lot of Nolan movies.
Yeah, he's good.
He's very good. He's a very good.
I think he's a lot older than
he is, but he could pull it off.
He probably could pull off a young guy. Yeah,
he could fit into those skinny jeans. He could do it.
The Dune skinny jeans.
The Dune skinny jeans. It holds your water.
Oh yeah, see, he did mean to say Cillian. That's all right. Yeah, because I actually did type in Villain Murphy. I'm like, is this somebody I haven't heard of yet? Because
and it pulled him.
Us boomers, what do we know, right? So.
Fuck you, boomer.
Fuck you, boomer. Oh my God.
You and your boomer toys, loser.
So the other role that they haven't filled yet too is are they going to do what's the name again, Flair? Sorry, I can't.
Which one? Twofer?
The female that hasn't been cast yet. Say it again.
Irulan
Carino. Yeah, they haven't either. They're not going to do that character altogether, or they haven't casted her yet. So,
and it seems like they haven't cast her yet. So there's. Honestly, I was just looking up a couple of them, and Ana de Armas.
Okay.
I've been looking.
Sounds familiar.
She looks really good. She looks really good, honestly, all around. But I think she'd look really good as Irulan because she's supposed to be a little older than Paul. And
the Blade Runner lady. Okay, hold on.
Okay,
the one that played his AI.
She's going out with Ben Affleck, the lucky bastard.
Really?
Yeah, that's his new squeeze.
Oof.
Yeah, he gets them all, baby.
That's horrible. That's a horrible thought. She's gonna get her heart broken. I don't know. Maybe she can clean it out.
She's gonna get her heart broken. Oh, poor baby.
That guy, don't get me started on that guy. So, okay. and Denis Villeneuve has worked with her before.
Yeah,
so
Blade 2049.
But he doesn't really recycle his actors. Sicario, he had a wonderful cast there. He didn't repeat any of them. So same with Arrival. Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen Benicio del Toro as probably the who's his name? Fucking Goonies. What's his name?
Goonies?
Yes, his name. I totally blanked on his name. Oh my god, I feel so bad.
Which Goonies guy?
The older brother.
Oh, yeah. See, the old guy's having a conversation. We can't remember.
Oh my god, that hurts.
The other one that I looked up that I really liked.
Sean Astin, is that who you meant to say?
John Astin, no.
Sean Astin.
Sean Astin, no. Shit, his mother-in-law. Josh Brolin.
In there.
Josh Brolin. Okay, yeah. All right, gotcha.
No, I would have preferred Benicio del Toro play Josh Brolin's part.
Oh, so you would have preferred Benicio del Toro playing Gurney Halleck?
Yes.
He
previously played by Patrick Stewart.
Yes.
The other one that I would recommend is Olivia Cook. For Irulan. I think those two really have the look, and they're a little bit older, so they kind of have that, ability to look a little older than in a movie, instead of finding a 12-year-old and being cuties.
No, it's the $9 billion mistake. Yes.
No, Bill. Shaddam has not been cast, really? As far as we know.
We don't know who the Emperor is. Maybe they don't show him right away. Maybe it's just
can't get Joseph Ferreira. He's dead. God,
who would be the Emperor? Man,
70 big.
It'd be like a surprise. You know what I mean? Like it'd be somebody because this cast is. This is a big budget cast. In this
Tony Hopkins.
If they,
I could see that. I could see Anthony Hopkins being the Emperor in this.
Ray Fiennes.
Yeah.
I think he would be
sinister enough. Yeah.
As Shaddam.
It's got to be somebody that could be like really like a politician type. You know what I mean? Like somebody that can be easily manipulated too.
Oh yeah, that is one that I forgot. Shout out Mapes. I don't know who would be playing her, but it would be interesting because she does play an integral part in the betrayal, so she would have to she'd have to be there. So good call, Chris. Good call.
I don't have a name for that one. I could go anywhere with the Emperor. I mean, considering it was originally going to be Salvador Dali. I mean,
right?
you can go anywhere from there. You know what I mean? So, you know what? Have it be fucking Mick Jagger. Yeah, have Mick Jagger be the Emperor.
He could do it.
Why the fuck not? Have it be another callback.
Keith Richards.
Yeah, Keith Richards or Mick Jagger to be the Emperor. I could see Mick Jagger being the Emperor.
They can really fuck it up and just say Johnny Depp. That'd be awful. Can you imagine that shit?
Oh, that's guaranteed to sink the movie. The way people operate nowadays, like I would still see it, but it's like
just for that reason.
There's like a 50-50 split on people that will support Johnny Depp at this point. Like I'm on his side, but who am I? I'm just a guy on YouTube.
Bill, there are some very, very good Middle Eastern actors that could carry the role.
Oded Fair.
Yes.
I think he's dead.
No, he's not. He's not dead.
I think he might be dead.
Oded Fair, really?
I was stationed in Israel, and there was some really great Israeli actors that are really not well known in the States, but they have really great chops, and I can't remember any of their names right now, but they did a lot of sci-fi stuff over there, and they would look really good. Yeah, he's
he's alive.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's not dead. I would know if he was dead because this guy's cool as hell, man. This guy just towers over everybody too. I could totally see him as the Emperor.
Oh, what about speaking of towering over everybody, the guy that played Rodrigo Santoro from 300? Who played, who played the God Emperor?
God, that 7-foot tall guy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that if you wanted to go for pure, unadulterated, yeah.
I love how Oded Fair's photo profile is just a bunch of boxes from The Mummy. It's like, yeah, I was the guy that was in that movie. Remember, like he's been in other stuff, but nobody remembers any of it.
He was in Resident Evil movies.
Yeah, he was in Resident Evil Resurrection. I was one of the dumb people that went to the movie theater to see that one.
I've seen every Resident Evil movie in theater because I did it out of just.
We go for Mila Jovovich. Let's just face it.
I own the box set.
Let's
oh my God.
Call it like we see it. We don't watch them to be educated. We watch them to be entertained.
Oh, but they're so bad. Oh God, they're terrible.
They are. They're abysmal movies, and I don't care. Oh, hey, Salvador's here. Salvador says there's plenty of groups that support DEP, AANAARP. The list goes on. Sal, I miss you sometimes, man. Glad to see you're back in one piece. Thank you for hanging out with us, dude. We should have Pete up in here pretty soon if he doesn't pass out from his other stream or else his other stream's running over. Who knows? Etep Akuyan from the Place to Be Reviews, my brother from another mother, should be joining us shortly, or maybe not. Maybe he'll drop in. I didn't hold him to it, but he has the key to get backstage. So I'm glad Josh Brolin's in it though. That guy is a really good actor. Like he can play anything. Like I've seen him play some parts. He can be bad guys. He can be good guys. He's got a presence. I'm glad things have worked out for him. I always thought maybe he would go places. He's definitely a lot better actor than his dad.
You take that back.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I can take that one back.
Westworld is a genius performance.
You're right. Westworld is really good.
And I
saw most of the first season. Is it worth watching after?
Well, actually, Westworld, before it was a TV show, was a movie that came out in the 70s. So there's a Westworld movie, and the TV show is loosely based on that in the same way that Battlestar Galactica was based on the original show. Like it takes that small idea and expands on it and makes it something a lot bigger than it really is. Problem is, Westworld, the TV show, had an amazing first season, and then the second season's kind of meh.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched the third season because I just decided to dump my HBO subscription. So
yeah, it was on Showtime when I was watching it. They were doing reruns. I had DirecTV with a Showtime package for a little while.
My problem with it is it stopped being Westworld when they left the park.
Yeah.
Okay, they left the park, and now it's just a soap opera with robots, which I got enough of that from Battlestar Galactica. That did it well enough. I don't need to see that same thing all over again. And I feel like I'm getting that same thing like, ooh, maybe that person's an artificial person. I'm like, yeah, we've done this before. I've seen Blade Runner and I've seen Battlestar Galactica. They both did it just fine. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. But yeah, that's another whole stream all by itself.
No.
Adam, highlight that one from Sal.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Salvador says, if The Rock can play the Scorpion King or a 2x4 can lead a Marvel movie, I'm sure the agent from Don't Mess with the Zohan can be in Dune just fine. Hey, Nerdy Blurb TV is here. Nerdy Blurb TV says, aye, let the spice flow, baby. I am looking forward to hearing those slogans again in our daily pop culture, because I think those phrases work on a lot of different levels. It's kind of like, it's up there with like, I'm your Huckleberry, or, go ahead and make my day, like the spice must flow. Fear is the mind killer. Entire albums have been written on that whole premise. I'm glad. I want those things to come back and be a part of our pop culture. Sal also says, if Chris Farley can be a Chip and Dale's dancer, the more successful gigolo from Deuce Bigelow can be in Dune. Probably, right?
Rob Schneider.
While we're at it, let's get the Spice Girls in Dune. Let's make that happen. Let's just give them a cameo. Well, you know how every movie has to have a song, like we were talking about that in the trailer. Like every trailer has to have a pop song to connect the hip new audience to the old story. Now let's just have a remake of the Spice Girls.
Does anybody actually want to remember the Spice Girls?
No,
I really don't. I don't.
was a dark time.
It was it's an even
It
darker
was
time.
1998.
I mean, the only thing we can say is at least it was pre-Britney Spears, so there's that.
There's that.
Oh, so
it's pre-Britney Spears shaving her head.
Before we get too far,
That was the best Britney Spears.
With Britney Spears. Let's talk about what are our expectations for this film. I think we kind of dabbled a little bit into that on the last stream, and I didn't want the last stream to go too far over because we're already at the 50-minute mark. What is it that we want from this movie? More importantly, this being a big budget movie, let me go to my so we did our cast speculations. So success versus flop. What are our positive takeaways from the trailer? What can we say about it so far? Let's get into the positives.
It's visually impressive. It seems like the cast is well done. The uniforms seem.
That was one of my biggest gripes from the miniseries is I hate the fucking costumes in the miniseries. That was one of the lowest points was the production design, and whoever they had making the costumes, like the costumes from The Fifth Element looked better than, and those costumes were rough. Those were some rough costumes. Like some cool,
Bruce Willis in a thing that shows his chest. Go.
I mean, I really like the costume for Plavala Laguna. That was cool. But I mean, I'm going to pull up that costume again from before. Some of the costumes from the miniseries are worthy of me because the costumes in the 1984 movie are not the problem. The costumes are great. Okay, I like the still suits. I like the uniforms.
Bill Levitt. The only thing I disagree with you is Hans Zimmer.
Yeah. I think we could talk about that. Hans Zimmer doesn't make memorable soundtracks. He makes mood music. He makes atmosphere music.
And he rips himself off all the time.
He does, doesn't he?
Time theme in Inception is the exact same theme as the one from The Thin Red Line. It is exactly the same theme.
Well, you kind of you listen to the movies that he is in, and it seems like it literally is. Okay, I have this. It's like sourdough bread. He starts with this one little concept and expands it out, and he never changes. It's always just sourdough bread.
I sometimes put cheese on the sourdough bread, though.
Well,
this is Hans Zimmer. Hello.
Cheese is always better.
But usually it's the same kind of cheese. I don't like to go beyond the Swiss. This is Hans Zimmer. Who's going to do an impression of Hans Zimmer on a podcast?
I can't.
Nobody.
You heard it here first on Raiders of the Lost Flicks Live.
Exactly.
Okay. That's Irulan. I love that.
You like this. I know you do. I don't. I look at this and I giggle. I'm sorry.
Is that Katy Perry?
Yeah.
No, unfortunately.
No, this is
when she fucked an alien.
These were the Reverend Mothers. Like this took the whole concept of the flying nun and really ran with it. I mean, if they jumped out of an airplane, they could probably land safely. I'm just saying.
I just at that point I really did. Well, come on. Compared to the Sardaukar behind her, she looks much better.
The Sardaukar is okay here.
She is a potential empress of the controlling house of the universe. I kind of can see where they went with that.
This here,
I have major issues with in the miniseries.
What this is right here is Chef Boyardee realized as a Masters of the Universe figure. Okay, like this is Chef Boyardee from the Masters of the Universe line.
That reminds me of the Ed Wood line. You're the emperor of the galaxy. Show some taste.
Oh my God! Yeah, it does. It looks like here we go. Here's the Sardaukar. We looked at the Sardaukar last week. We like what we see. They look pretty menacing.
This is the old Sardaukar. The new.
I know this is the way they're supposed to look in the book, but I mean, I can't look at this and think this is menacing.
I kind of think of French Boy Scouts.
I kind of think this is an episode of Chopped. I mean, like it's. It's the cooking channel. It's one of the cooking channel shows. It really is. Like,
no, I truly believe it's like the French Boy Scouts. They're not the French Foreign Legion, but that's who they're trying to be.
I know there's trying to be the French Foreign Legion, but to me, this just feels like the militant wing of Olive Garden. You know, I can't even with this. All right, I like the still suits bug me. Sure, like here's like I like the eyes, and this actor was pretty good, but these still suits are
that's Kilgar.
This is just we ran out of money, folks. Just go with it. You know what I mean? That's what this is.
The guy who played Still in the miniseries did such a great job.
See, this looks good. This is good. This is from 1984. You know, I mean, I liked the way the costumes looked in the original movie. I don't have a problem with that.
Well, it's like I've been saying for years and years. I want the budget and the director from 84 and the writers and actors from the miniseries, put those two things together, and that's kind of what I'm hoping Villeneuve has done. You know, that's my my ultimate dream.
Oh, here we go. This is about Hans Zimmer. I met Hans Zimmer once. I was driving on the highway. I was passing a Jag with a plate that said H. Zimmer, and I rolled down my window and screamed, "Hey, are you Hans Zimmer?" And he went, "Yeah."
Jawohl, I'm Hans Zimmer.
Ja, Hans Zimmer.
Bong.
Right? Yeah. Everything.
Bong.
Bill Levitt didn't remember all the topless. Yeah, I have the director's cut, and it has the topless scenes in it.
The only thing worse than the worst, okay, like I like that movie Dunkirk, all right, but the Hans Zimmer score drives me bananas in that movie.
It's like a ticking clock.
It is. It's really like it's designed to get you to feel uncomfortable, and that's exactly what it does. The only thing worse than that is the sound mixing from any Christopher Nolan movie in the last 5 years, like especially Interstellar. Like when the music is drowning out the dialogue, I got problems. Like, you know, I'm not that hard of hearing. I know I'm older and everything, but when I'm like, wait, what did he say? If I have to turn on the captions to figure out what the guy said in a Blu-ray that I just bought, we got problems. You know, I mean, it's just bad sound mixing. I'm sorry. It doesn't need to be that loud.
Hey, Chris Perez, if you want to see the miniseries, it is on Facebook, I believe. Or it's on.
You know what? I'll put the link up. I did it in the last stream. I'm going to go ahead and do it on this one because you can watch those movies for free, and it's actually a pretty good copy. They've been on YouTube for a very long time, so I'm going to put the link to those right now.
Catch it, man.
You absolutely need to watch the miniseries. You need to see it at least once because I guarantee it will be good enough to get you excited about this new movie.
Yes, the writing is excellent in it. Hands down, I think the adaptation is excellent.
It's paced well. It's easy to understand. You don't watch it for its production value. You watch it for the story. So that when you go into the new Dune, you'll kind of know what's going on. If you don't think that you have time to read the book, or if you're dragging your ass watching the book like I am, you'll be able to see it. I'm going to put it right in the chat right here.
Or Adam, some of us who read it in a week.
Yeah. Well, we're not all like reading machines like you are, sir.
That's true.
I do need to finish it.
Yeah, these are not illegal or anything. This has been on YouTube for a long time. This is part 2 right here. It was originally debuted over a week, but you could pretty much merit. This is like 6 hours altogether.
Bill Levitt, that's all they put it out on.
Yeah.
There is not a Blu-ray of Children of Dune either.
It was only on DVD in the United States. If you want a Blu-ray copy, you have to go overseas. Now, the overseas copy of Children of Dune runs for about $20. Overseas Blu-ray of Dune runs for about $30.
This is $80?
Yeah, what he has in his hand right there is a sawed-off collector's item because they don't make them anymore. And I'm hoping if this movie is successful enough, they'll release those. They'll re-release them so they can be consumed again.
They won't do that.
There must be some kind of weird hang-up licensing or something.
I'm sure Warner Brothers would be like, "This is the only version you'll ever see, asshole."
Oh, they're gonna port George Lucas like this is
pretty
the
much.
original version. No, it's a special edition. No, this is the original version now. I changed it. This is
McClunky.
this is the one. McClunky.
McClunky. Can you imagine a sandworm saying McClunky?
I can see it in my head right now, and it's a terrifying sound.
McClunky.
Oh, McClunky. Just a big giant penis saying McClunky. God, we're terrible.
God,
we are terrible people. All right, so this cast has officially gone right down the toilet. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. If anybody else has any other questions, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Well, I just wanted to add, we have talked about the soundtrack of the original Dune movie. I think is amazing.
Yeah,
the Toto soundtrack.
It's memorable. Yeah,
it's really good.
Every time I think of Dune, the first thing I can think of is Dune. I miss soundtracks like that, man.
Yeah.
Anymore, you know.
I feel like the new version of Dune should have the Toto soundtrack, and it would work.
You know, I kind of wish that it would be a little bit more orchestral, like if it had like Alan Silvestri or you know, I know James Horner isn't around anymore, but damn, that soundtrack from Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Oh yeah,
that soundtrack gives me goosebumps to this day.
Krull,
you remember those things?
Krull's a very good soundtrack.
You know, it's like certain characters in the movie need to have their own themes. That's one thing that I always liked about John Williams is he could attach a song to a character to where his song was like a character in the movie. It like built on what you saw. If that music wasn't there, it wouldn't have worked. And you want to be able to, like, when you hear a song, it like triggers a scene in your head, you know, like God forbid, even when the first time you heard Duel of the Fates, like you remember that shit. It stays with you. You know what I mean?
It's still good. That's the only thing good about the prequels is the music.
Hans Zimmer, like the only thing I can remember that he's done in recent years is The Dark Knight. It's just it's not really memorable. You know what I mean? It's a mood. You know, it's just a mood.
But his orchestral version of Eclipse, I like that. I'm waiting for the soundtrack to come out. I want to buy that. Because I like the song by Pink Floyd, but I think also the that
I have a feeling though that's probably not going to be anywhere near this movie. I think that's
it'll probably be in the end credits or not even in the movie.
Like you remember when and I know all three of us we all like we all like the movie Starship Troopers, right?
Oh yeah.
Remember when Starship Troopers came out? It had the trailer, and then they released a different trailer where they played "Song 2" by Blur.
Yeah.
Woohoo! That's not anywhere in that movie remotely. Like there is some pop music in that movie,
but then the movie was nowhere in the book.
No.
Yeah,
that was just honey.
Yeah, it's so loosely based on the book Starship Troopers. It's barely like I love the movie.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, it's fine.
It's not anywhere remotely like it because that's Paul Verhoeven. He takes science fiction, twists it all up, and turns it into something else, and somehow it always magically works. It does. It makes me sick. A guy that does not understand science fiction can make such good science fiction movies.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
I agree with you, Bill. That there really does need to be a documentary made about him because he's been prolific.
It's going to happen, yeah. It'll probably happen. Sadly, if the guy passes away, then they'll fast track it. But yeah, I think he needs more attention because John Williams is one of those guys that adds an extra level to a movie. And we were spoiled. There's a lot of soundtracks like even up through the 90s where you remember the music when you watch the movie. You get done watching it and you're still humming the song in your head. I was watching Tombstone the other night on TV, and I'm like, God, this movie's so good. Great soundtrack, great acting, and it's like you remember that shit. You're still humming the theme song when you're walking away.
The director's cut of Tombstone, the 3.5 hour version of it, and the added in music that he did for the extended scenes. I just sit there and I'll literally I don't care about watching the movie. I'll have it running in the background going, but I can tell exactly where the movie is, but by the music.
Like, even, I hate to say this, but even the goddamn Marvel movies have theme music. You know what I mean? Like, you still remember, you know, like everybody knows the Avengers is like, dun, 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 dun. You know, I don't want to say the whole thing, I'll get copyright struck, but I miss that. Like that was one of my biggest gripes about Alita Battle Angel was that Junkie XL soundtrack. It's not that it's bad, it's just that it's not memorable. It's just surface level mood music like you'd get in a video game. You know what I mean? It doesn't stay with you like Alita needed her own battle theme, and I didn't get that from that movie. And
would you have wanted the Wonder Woman theme that Hans Zimmer did? Oh my God. Fucking techno beat bullshit.
It seems like they give the job to whichever movie made the most money. It's not necessarily that they see formulas like, well, we have to have this guy because he was in this movie that made money. So there's so many other people that could probably make a killer soundtrack. There's a band called Stoneburner there's a band called Stoneburner that has a CD out there called Songs in the Keys of Arrakis. In fact, I'll put a link to that after this uploads. He made a whole CD based on his love for Dune, like theme music. And why didn't they hire him? You probably could have hired him for a very low amount, but I mean, I get it. It's movie, it's politics. You pick the guys that get the big roles, but
then you have something like Tron Legacy, where you get Daft Punk doing the entire album.
That stayed with you.
But that's the thing, is they were so good. I don't like the storyline to Tron Legacy very much, but I listen for the music, and is it Olivia Munn or Wilde? One of those two that I'll watch her read a phone book. I don't care.
She's a director now. She's not acting anymore.
There you go.
So they'll get her to do a Marvel movie.
Oh, here we have a question. Bill Leavitt says, question, how come the Harkonnens does have blue eyes since they were on Arrakis first?
Because they're not pure.
Well, because also they don't go out into the desert.
Right. Don't the Harkonnens usually have face shields on when they're on the planet? Aren't they usually wearing like hazmat type? At least all the versions that I've seen, they're wearing some kind of...
They also import all their food in.
Yeah.
It is spice toxicity.
Right.
It's one of the things that is discussed in the book, the ecological ramifications of the spice, that in living on Arrakis outside of the major cities, it is a curse and a blessing that your life is extended by exponential amount of years, and but you're also forced to either take spice with you to keep you alive, because you'll go through withdrawals, and so it's also a burden where that spice changes you, and the blue eyes is a sign of the toxicity of the spice.
It's a side effect. Yeah, you drink the water and you breathe the air long enough, it changes your.
And so it's also a way that they're able to differentiate how the Harkonnens could have been there for 80 years, but they never really were on Arrakis. Because it was a way to delineate how one side of the coin ingratiates itself with the people, to make change, to be a better, to build a better environment. The other one was exploiting the environment to, for the worst parts of capitalism, let's say.
Flair's the guy you want to ask because he's read the books more than most of us have. And I still have yet to get through the first book, and this guy's read most of them, if not all of them. So,
did you not like the Brian Herbert ones or
Frank
Brian Herbert? No, the sequels.
Oh no,
prequels.
Yeah,
I honestly like them for what they are. I have no beefs with the prequels. I think they give a great setup. I think they tell the stories that need to be told, like the Butlerian Jihad, why the Harkonnens hate the Atreides. Where it's only insinuated in the books. The Baron discusses, okay, I've hated them, my family has hated them, and that in the prequels it explains so much more on the lore of the Dune series. It also brings Kevin Anderson of the X-Wing series from Star Wars EU. I've always appreciated him as an author, and he really brings that sense of weight, and they may be prequels, but it's not like a divisive prequel. It's an explanation for people who want more Dune, because Brian didn't want to go in and change anything post, because he wanted to respect and honor his father. So for me, I can see why he did that. In my opinion, they're good for what they are.
Well, I'm going to end it on this last note. I had also heard over the weekend that they're actually already in talks with HBO in doing a Dune spinoff already. The Bene Gesserits, just a spinoff of the Bene Gesserit. All I gotta say is just don't make it another Handmaid's Tale. Don't do that again.
They are not. There's nothing.
Either keep it faithful to the books or don't even. Just don't even. Okay. So
well, because when they talk about their breeding programs, it is literally the Bene Gesserits rise out of the Butlerian Jihad, and their breeding program starts way back then, because they're looking for that. Good night, Bill. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you, Bill. Thanks for all the questions. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. But this has been
carry on for hours.
No, that's what we're here for. We will be here every Monday night, 10:30 p.m. If you want to rap with us about Dune, talk about movie stuff and speculation, we'll have a whole new batch of topics next week for sure. And of course, on my channel, I'll have single videos about this as well. So, and then also on Wednesday night, hop on over to Loitering in Wonderland Studios on YouTube and check out. We're going to be watching yet another episode of Tales from Darkside. This time, Dick Shaddam IV is picking that episode. So if it sucks, we're going to blame it all on you, sir. It's all on you. No pressure. But if it does suck, we won't ever have to watch Tales from the Dark Side ever again, thank God.
It was an Amazing Stories episode we're watching.
Oh, that's right. Shit. Okay.
I have the top 10 list for Tales from the Crypt.
Okay. Amazing Stories I'm not worried about, because I used to actually like that show.
Well, I'm presenting the top 10 Tales from the Crypt episodes to Phoenix, so we can watch those and only those, and then decide whether to continue with the show.
Also, Friday night, stop by at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's every Friday we watch a bad movie, and then we review it. We let you score it, and we riff the whole thing while it's playing. You watch it on YouTube with us through another window. It's a good time. It's my escape from reality every single week, so I like to share that with my audience.
I would also like to thank the chat for being so interactive tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Thanks to Chris Perez, Bill Leavitt, Etep Kulian, The Place to Be Reviews,
Salvador,
Nerdy Blurb TV, Salvador, super fan Adam Shawhan.
It makes this time fly.
Oh yeah, no, this is exactly what we want. This is an interactive program. So Bill Leavitt, see, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Oh yeah, Macaroni and D's Nuts. I just like to highlight. Love that worm. I'm sorry, it just cracks me up when I read it. So thank you so much, guys. This has been a lot of fun. And like I said, we'll be back Monday night doing it as well. I don't know what topics I'm going to be covering this week, but there will be more videos uploaded. mostly about my love for my excitement for this movie coming out, and just kind of whatever becomes of it. But otherwise, you guys have yourselves a fantastic week. Be safe, and we'll see you on the next one. This is the Groovinator signing out. Peace. If I can find my outro. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it somewhat entertaining. Please remember to depress that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you'll be the first to know when new content is published. Please visit raidersofthelostflicks.com for more hilarious entertainment and links to all of our social media platforms. Also, consider supporting us on Patreon. As little as $1 a month supports our worldwide digs for more Lost Flicks. Thank you, and have a groovy day.